Hi FlossTube, welcome to my channel. I'm Nicole Buckeye Stitcher. This is my channel about cross stitch. The sun is out finally for the first time in days. The temperature is projected to be 60 degrees, so the windows can be open today. It's going to be a great day. I'm here to do my March update video. Today's March 25th. And let's get started. The first project I want to show you is something I was working on during my last video. I've made quite a bit of progress. The pattern is 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis. And I'm going to have to hold things at a little bit of an angle because of the way the sun's coming in. So that's the pattern. I finished all of the wording. So all the words are done. This is stitched on a 32 count natural linen, but it's opalescent. Can you see the sparkle? Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm really excited about that. I have not done the trim. I am planning on doing the trim. I just needed a break from all the words. So this is what it'll look like when it's finished. And Sue Hillis has lots of different greens in those little holly leaves. I'm just gonna stitch with a variegated, where'd it go? Pine. I'm going to stitch with just a variegated pine. I'm still making this video because I'm so excited about the sun. It's going to happen even if you can't see anything. But I'm going to use this for the leaves instead of changing out the colors just to make it go faster. Okay, so that I finished in January. And like I just said, I needed a break from the letters. So I went to another pattern with letters. I went to Sister Suffragette from Summer House Stitchworks, and I forgot to bring the pattern down, but you don't need to see the pattern because I have a fully finished project. So I started this in February because I realized since this is the 100th year of my right to vote, it needed to be done for this year. Okay. I started this in February. I finished it in March. It's stitched on 32 count Ren by Picture This Plus, and I stitched it with one thread over two, except for these little, whatever these little streamers are, because when I tried to stitch those with just one thread, they didn't really show up, and you couldn't get the oomph. There was no oomph. I probably should have stitched the little doves with two threads as well, but I'm not taking it back. So I got this back from the framer about 2 weeks ago. She picked out the perfect frame that looks kind of old and worn and kind of the era. I'm really happy with that. I wasn't thrilled with the purple. Purple and gold looked weird with the red, white, and blue, but I looked it up and it's historically accurate. So the decorative wear that the women carried and wore, I guess, in the U.S. was purple and gold. The purple stood for royalty. Women were supposed to be royal. I believe the British had green and purple, or green and gold. I'll correct it right here because I knew at one point. So that's my start, finish, and fully finish, and that's been on display. Okay, so I went from words to words to more words. So in March, I also started this because I figured I might as well just get a start on Christmas stuff. This is a gift for my brother-in-law. I always make him an ornament. My sister recommended this pattern because he loves the movie Elf. This is Cotton-Headed Ninny Muggins by Stitchcraft Patterns on Etsy. The funny thing about this, that he loves this video, is that he dressed as Elf one year for Halloween, which is funny in enough of itself, thinking a grown man dressing as Elf. But my brother-in-law is 6'10", so yeah, this is my progress. So this pattern is big. If you stitch it on 14 count Aida, the finished size is 4.5 by almost 9 inches, which is not going to make a very good ornament. So I decided to stitch it over 1. I love how over 1 looks, but I'm not a fan of stitching over 1, so I'm doing this on, 28 count Ivory Lugana. Oh my god, isn't it so cute? Over 1. So more letters. This is the progress that I've gotten. It goes really quick, but I do have to use my magnifier. I use my magnifier for everything, even if it's 14 count Aida or 32 count linen. I just like having the magnification so I don't have to try harder. So that's my progress on that. Once I get my next project done that I'm going to show you, I'm going to go back to working on this because it does, like I said, it does go fast, and I'll be happy to have this done early. I think I'm going to have it finished into like a triangle, so like the shape of a triangle elf. That needle minder, that little Siamese kitty, came from Craft and Chris on Etsy. She's a Canadian seller. She makes project bags and other little bags and needle minders. Okay, so after I finished loose needle, we learned our lesson with loose needles this month. I will tell you about that in a moment. All right, so after I went from those letters, I stopped with the letters. I went back to an old project that I haven't worked on for a long time. Take out the plastic. It is this Russian cat kit that I've had forever. Super, super cute. And I have made really good progress on this thing in the past 2 weeks. Oh shoot, hold on 1 second. I have my pattern attached. So let me take off my pattern. Take off my needle minders. All right, so this is the progress that I've made. The thing I'm concerned about is that I did not like the threads that came with it because they were not the wool. They were gamma moulin threads, whatever that is. So I took them to Joann Fabrics and traded them out for the closest DMCs I could find. But I think one of them is too yellow. So like this in here and some of this yellow is just too yellow compared to what it actually is supposed to look like. I'm not sure it looks like a real cat. And as much as I like animal-related artwork, I only like it if it's realistic looking or so far out there that it's not realistic. Like Charlie Harper, the Cincinnati designer. I like his cardinals and his cats and his creatures, but they're quite, not realistic. They're not Art Deco. They're like 60s and 70s. I don't know. I'm not that well educated. So anyway, so that's my progress. So pretty much all I have left to do, is the tail. I haven't done this for a while. So the tail, which has a lot of confetti in it. So yeah, but I really want to get this done to say I did. I don't know if I love this full coverage thing. I do like the way this looks. So I'm going to persevere just so I can say I did it. But I don't know if I see more full coverage in my future, which is a shame because I own like 5 of them. Okay, that is all I have worked on. Purchases. What have I purchased since the beginning of the year? I will show you. I have purchased a skein of DMC 676 because I lost the skein. It was already bobbinated for the Russian cat. So wherever my progress was a year ago when I worked on this the last time, I somehow lost the bobbinated skein. I also purchased a skein of DMC B5200 because one night while I was stitching, I knocked this off the chair into a mug of tea and realized like a half an hour later. And I can't even blame a kitten for that one. And then the final thing that I purchased, I already showed you, was this skein of Gentle Arts Pine. That's it, because I'm stitching from stash this year, and I'm mad I had to buy this stuff. All right, so that's purchases. Freebies. I printed a few freebies recently, and I'll show you quickly because some of them don't have cover pages. They are freebies, but I know we're not necessarily supposed to show patterns, so just look quick. The first one is Easter Delivery by Shannon Christine Designs. Her stuff's so stinking cute. The second one is by Forest. Oh, and you can get this off her Instagram page. So I just went to Instagram on my computer, opened up that picture, and printed it. So I'm going to have to make this bigger because it's too small or use magnification, but it's easy enough to print. I think if you go to her Facebook page, maybe you can get it too. I'm not on Facebook, so I think you can get a better copy of these on Facebook. A lot of these you can get a good copy of them on the Keepsakes Facebook page, which I'll put that below. It's just Keepsakes, not Keepsakes Framing. The next one was by Forest Embroidery, and for some reason the cover picture didn't print, but she gave a freebie of a bunch of little eggs that have spring flowers on them, and the cover that was on here is a wreath with all of them cut out and attached to the wreath, so it's pretty cute. So if you're looking for that, I went to Forest Embroidery. Here's the site. I'll post it below. It was a freebie. It looks like you have to purchase it in order to get it, but you just, as soon as you quote unquote click on it, it just downloads to your computer. And yeah, I already put that information below. And then this third one is from, this one's also from Forest Embroidery. Just little cacti. I thought those were cute. I thought they'd be cute to stitch without the little white frame, and then have them finished as little flat folds. Wouldn't that be cute? My sister has some little wooden cubes that have plants painted on them. So for those of us who don't do well with live plants, stitched and wooden plants work well for decoration. Okay, so those are the 3 freebies that I got. Again, there's a ton of freebies on the Keepsakes Facebook page. I know lots of other floss tubers are promoting all the freebies that are available now. So if you just go out there and look, the hashtag is Be Well and Stitch. Be Well and Stitch, I believe. Correction right here, probably. Okay. Segue to the needle. So a few weeks ago, I was stitching on the cat, and I had my pattern attached with multiple needle minders. The chair that I sit in to stitch, I have a little plastic basket next to it where I have all of my project bags lined up. And so I just set this like in the basket, but it wasn't in its original project bag. And there was a needle attached to one of the needle minders, kind of like this. Yeah? Okay. So I was messing around with my phone. I was done stitching for the night, but not ready to get up and go to bed. Messing around with my phone, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw Gray Baby mucking around with something on the floor. And then I thought I heard a little crunching, like a plastic sound. He loves plastic. He also has an addiction to this plasticky stuff on the DMC skeins. So I thought he had a piece of plastic, but knowing that there was no plastic in that area, I grabbed him to see what he had, and I cranked his mouth open, and he moved real quick, but not before I didn't see the needle. So he grabbed the needle off the needle minder of the project that was sitting in the basket because I didn't put it in the project bag. So I grabbed his whole little body and I cranked his little head and mouth open. It's a wonder he didn't have a bruised head because I was panicking. Shined my little spotlight that I used to stitch in his mouth. There was the needle stuck to the back of his throat with the thread still attached. I stuck my finger in there and pulled it out. I could have just as easily pushed it down. So in hindsight, maybe not the best idea. And then kind of like freaked out and squeezed him and kissed his face and then shook him a little bit. Man, he is so bad. So now we have to put all the projects back in the project bags and zip them and put them in the wall safe, right? Oh, because you can't trust them. So it took 18 months, but a kitten finally tried to swallow a needle. And I posted it on Instagram, and everybody was saying, how thankful that you were there. And it was thankful that I was there and home and caught it. But those guys don't really go in that room when I'm not there. So if I hadn't been home, he probably wouldn't have been there messing around with it anyway. So I'll take full responsibility for that catastrophe. I was fully prepared at 10:30 at night in my pajamas to pop him in the car and drive him straight to the emergency clinic and let them scope him and pull it out. Luckily, we didn't have to do that. Okay. What else? So a couple videos ago, I mentioned that I loved neutral fabrics, and Linda from Blue Horse Yellow Cow asked me what some of my favorites were. And I tried to show some of them in my Christmas video, but I didn't have the right lighting. I don't know if I have the right lighting now, but I'm going to try. So this first one is my all-time favorite neutral to stitch on. This is Legacy. This is a 32 count by Picture This Plus. Ooh, I think the lighting's going to work great. Okay, so this is my favorite. Okay, Linda. Hello, Linda. If you're watching, look up. These are my favorite neutrals. Well, some of my favorite neutrals. This is my all-time favorite. Legacy by Picture This Plus. This is what I used for the Ebenezer's Christmas that I stitched for my sister. Let me see if I can open it up a little bit more. It's just a nice neutral. It kind of looks like old paper, a little parchmenty. That's my favorite all time. I also like, I didn't tell you. Okay, so I also like Wren. That's what I used for Votes for Women. 36 count Wren by Picture This Plus. This is 32 count. And it's a little bit more, I didn't use the 32 count. I would have preferred 32 count, but I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference. This one just looked a little bit more, I don't know, the gold in it went better with the Votes for Women gold. I don't know how to describe it because I can't tell now that the glass is on it, but I like this one. This one is maybe a little bit green. But I hate to say that because I don't really feel green when I see this. Maybe khaki, which I guess is green. But I'll hold it up to the Legacy. See the difference? This is a nice neutral. Okay, and then one that I like, but I don't think I've used this one yet. This is Toasted Almond by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. This is a 32 count. I think I have this in 36 count, but it looks pretty similar. So this is similar to Legacy, but it's not as modeled. So here's Legacy, Picture This Plus. Okay, ignore that. That's not typical. That's better. That's even better. Okay, so here's the Toasted Almond by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It's got a little bit of modeling in it. Here's the Picture This Plus. See the modeling? There's a little bit in there. Okay. And then this one I have not used yet, but I really like it. I really like, this is R&R linen. I like R&R linen. Usually it's stiff. This is a little bit softer. This is like a typical linen, and theirs is usually a little bit more stiff, which I like. But this is a really pretty color. Their colors aren't really modeled. This is a really nice neutral. Okay, maybe the next start, whenever or whatever that is, goes on this. I like it. And then this one, I'm not sure I've decided about this one. This was a new one for Picture This Plus last year at Market, I believe. This is called Bramble. It's a little pink, and that's why I'm not sure about it. I do like it. It's kind of like a brown pink. I'm not really sure how else to describe it. I feel like with the right colors it would work, but with the wrong colors it would be really, really pink. But it's really pretty. So that's a new one. So that worked better than I thought it would. I should have brought more down. I have like a whole plastic tub under the bed of just neutrals. And then I have a separate one of other fabrics that aren't neutral, which is why I'm not buying anything this year. No market buys. Okay, so 2 more stitch things, some books, and then I'm done. A quick StitchCon update. Today's March 25th. We are still hoping, wishing, and praying that StitchCon 2020 will go on as planned in June. Some of that decision is not up to us. Some of it is up to the convention center and the government. Currently, we are still planning on proceeding, but it's a day-to-day decision, and like I said, not always our decision. However, we have made some changes to the cancellation policy. Previously, you had to cancel by April 1st in order to be guaranteed your refund. unless we could fill your spot with somebody on the wait list. Due to current events, we have eliminated the deadline. So if at any time you feel like you need to cancel your trip to Cincinnati, Ohio for StitchCon this summer, whether it's because of travel concerns or health concerns or something just comes up between now and then, you can cancel at any time and we will give you your money back. You can call the shop. You can email Barbara at Keepsakes. All the information will be below. Like I said, we are hoping, wishing, and praying. But in the event we can't, we will refund everybody's money if we can't proceed as planned. Okay, that's the end of that. The last stitching thing I have is that I owe you guys a giveaway or two. So at the end of December, that was my 3-year anniversary on FlossTube, and I said I was going to do a giveaway. And then I wasn't prepared for January, and I skipped February, and now here's March. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 giveaways, each worth $50. Each one is a shopping spree at Keepsakes, which is what I like to do. I typically will go to the shop and pick things out based on what you tell me, so I can support my local needlework shop. Currently, I can't do that. So what we're going to do, the first giveaway is called Market Haul. So if there's anything still from Market you haven't gotten, or you saw in somebody else's video and didn't know about, or you were already at your budget, this is the giveaway for you. This will be a $50 giveaway for anything from Market. And honestly, if there's only one thing you want from Market and you win, you can have whatever else you want that's currently in stock at the shop. So we will take care of the shipping, and I will take care of $50 worth of products from Market, but you can spend more than $50 if you want to. If you win this giveaway, we'll coordinate either you getting me your list or getting your list over to Keepsakes, and we'll ship your package to you. If you are interested in the Market Haul giveaway, please answer the question, what pattern do you plan to start next? It doesn't have to be from Market. It can be anything. It can be a kit. It can be a full coverage. It can be from Market. It can be from wherever. The second giveaway is called Stash Enhancement. So all of us are working on things we already have, and we may have depleted some of our stash or dropped it in our teacup. So this is a $50 giveaway for fabric, floss, needles, anything you need to finish projects that you are currently working on or projects that you plan to start in the next few weeks. And again, if you don't need anything and you want patterns, it can be that too. But I'm just trying to go with a theme to make it easy. So again, $50, we will take care of the shipping if you're in the U.S. for both of these. We'll take care of the shipping if you're in the U.S. If you win either of these giveaways and you're outside of the U.S., we'll figure something out, okay? The question you're going to answer for the Stash Enhancement giveaway is, who is your favorite floss producer? It can be DMC, it can be any of the hand-dyed, it can be Anchor, it can be any of the non-US. Just tell me who it is. You can enter for both if you answer both questions, but you can only win one. Today's the 25th. I am going to run this contest for 2 weeks, and then I'll make a video to do the giveaways, and then we'll talk, and you'll get your stuff. So all this stuff applies. Be over 18 or have your parents' permission. Don't say giveaway. Answer the questions below. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're looking to purchase something and you don't have an LNS, or you're looking for one to support, call Keepsakes. Right now, brick and mortar shops of all kinds are struggling. They have rent to pay, they have electrical bills to pay, they have staff to take care of if staff can still come in. So if you need to make a purchase and you don't have an LNS and maybe you want to try a brick and mortar shop instead of online, please think about calling Keepsakes in Cincinnati, Ohio. Barbara will take your order and get it shipped out to you. Okay, that's all I have for stitching. I've been doing a lot of reading lately. Last month I read the new book by Charles Finch called The Last Passenger. I love Charles Finch, his Charles Lennox mystery series. This is the third of the prequels. I wasn't as thrilled with the prequels as I was the whole series, but if you like mysteries, these are set in Victorian England. They're not super gory, but they're quite interesting, and I like most of them. Don't love these, but they were good. Currently reading Thunderstruck by Eric Larson. He's a nonfiction writer, but his writing is quite entertaining, so you feel like you're reading fiction. This is the true story of Dr. Crippen and the miraculous invention that helped catch a killer and change the world. Eric Larson wrote The Devil in the White City, which is a fascinating book about the U.S.'s first serial killer. It's set in Chicago, which is why it's called The Devil in the White City. If you haven't read it, go read it. He also has written, I forget what it's called, one that is set in Nazi Germany. The Beast in the Garden, something like that. And then I think that he has a new one that's either coming out or has just come out. I believe it's also set around Nazi Germany, so he's good. So that's what I'm doing. So like I said, today's going to be 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow. So the windows are opening up. We're going to air this place out, and we're going to do some more cleaning. And then we're going to sit and we're going to stitch on that cat. All right, people, have a great day. Be safe, and I'll see you soon.